Hello my friends, it's Kristine Vicenti from QueenCityStampArt.com, and I'm here today to bring you another Clean and Simple Sunday card. This is basically almost a completely single layered card, and it features the Free as a Bird stamp set, which I love. We're going to be using the birds on a branch image from the set, and then one of the sentiments for this card today. So one of the things that's awesome is that in the brand new holiday catalog that's coming out September 4th, there's a new product called Shimmery Crystal Effects. And this little tube of product is a liquid, sort of a liquid adhesive, but it also creates a 3D effect if you, or a dimensional effect, I shouldn't say 3D, but a dimensional effect, because you can kind of use it as a pen to fill in different images, and when it dries, it hardens, and it creates like a shimmery, glossy look to the card design. So what we're going to do today is stamp out this bird branch, color it in, and then I'm going to show you how to use the shimmery crystal effects, and we're going to create this beautiful, clean and simple Sunday card. So let's start with the card base. So normally when I cut a card base, I take a piece of cardstock and I lay it on my trimmer and I cut it at 4 1/4, or I lay it this way and cut it at 5 1/2, and we do a side fold. But in this case, I laid it on my trimmer and I cut a card base that measures 11 inches this way by 4 this way, and then I folded it in half at 5 1/2 inches. So we have a finished card size that's 5 1/2 by 4. And the reason I cut it to 4 instead of 4 1/4, which normally fits beautifully in a A2 size envelope, is because I want the sentiment panel to hang off the edge of the card a little bit. I think that adds some interest to a very simple card. And so in order to do that and still have it fit in the envelope, I had to cut the card base a little bit smaller so that it would still fit. And it does, it fits perfectly. So that's the rationale for that. So I just wanted to explain that a little bit, because that can be kind of fun. You may see me attach card elements that don't fit on the card base. They actually hang off a little bit. And when I do that, I've always cut the card base a little smaller so that it fits in the envelope. So today we're going to use some of the Stampin' Blends markers, which I absolutely love. This is kind of the Stampin' Up version of Copics. They're alcohol-based markers, and they work especially nice with the Memento Tuxedo Black ink pad. We're going to ink up the image and stamp it on our card base. I'm going to go at a bit of an angle and have some of the image hang off the card as well, so that it looks like the branch is kind of coming in from the side. Cover that up. Oh, well, you know what? I think I'll stamp the sentiment too while I have the ink pad here. So the sentiment says, "The world needs more of you." And I have several people in my life that I could give this to. Oh, that's a little crooked. Let's try that again. That's better. Okay. So we'll put those off to the side and cover the ink pad so we don't get our fingers in it. And then I'm going to take and snip this, snip the ends like this. There we go. And then we'll just set this off to the side. And we're going to color the birds. So for the branch, I thought we would use the light crumb cake, and I'm going to use the brush end, because I actually like the brush end for things that are a little bit longer and thicker. These are such nice markers, so easy to color with. And then for the leaves, I'm using light olive, light old olive, to color in all the leaves. And you know, you can get as fancy as you want with the adding dimension and shading and everything with the markers. For this card, I'm going to keep it pretty simple, but I think one of the nice things is that this image is beautiful because it looks busy, like there's a lot going on this branch with all the leaves and the flowers and the birds, but truthfully, it's so quick and easy to color. So easy to color. I've colored it a few times now, and I really like coloring it. It's kind of fun. I'm going to use the dark mint macaron to color in the flowers. on this branch. Real easy coloring. And then I'm going to use the pair of the Daffodil Delight. So I'm going to start with the dark one. And I'm just going to shade in a little bit where the birds are sketched. As I've mentioned in the past, this is where the dark areas are intended to be, where the sketches are. So we're just going to add a little dimension to the birds by coloring the dark marker in the sketched areas of his body. Then we're going to take the light marker and we're going to blend it out. We're just going to make small circles as we color and just blend out, and where the dark marker overlaps the light. It's hard to see in the video, I think, but when you color it in real life, you notice kind of the shading that you get. It's really simple, but it's a nice little effect. Subtle. Okay, just like that. I think that looks good. And then I'm going to take that light crumb cake again, and I'm just going to touch the beaks and darken them up a little. There. And that's that. So this image is so substantial. I feel like it really just is the perfect focal point for the card. And then if you add this one little strip of cardstock and pop it up, that's all you need. And you've got a beautiful, simple card. You can make this card easily 100 times and not even get bored because it's so fun to make. I'm going to trim this just a tiny bit on my trimmer. And then I'm going to take some dimensional adhesive and we're going to pop this up off the card base. And then we're going to add the Crystal Effects. Now let me tell you a few things about the Crystal Effects product. So this happens to be the shimmery Crystal Effects. There's a product on the market that Stampin' Up! Used to have that was just called Crystal Effects. This is shimmery Crystal Effects, so it's a little bit different in the sense that it has some sort of a glittery substance in it that makes it shimmer and shine when you, it's not just glossy, it's actually shimmery, which is really cool, especially for Christmas cards, of course, right? Because we want lots of glitter and shimmer and shine on our Christmas cards. So that's a wonderful thing. I'm going to add a large, one of the basic jewels, the large rhinestones, on here, like that. So when I use the, anytime I use the Crystal Effects or shimmery Crystal Effects, what I like to do is save it for last because it's very sticky. As I've mentioned, it can be used as an adhesive. People don't typically use it as an adhesive to glue things together, but they use it as a surface adhesive. So if this were, say this were a little snowman on a snowbank, you could draw a line of this and then kind of squiggle it like that and dust it with a shimmery glitter or some kind of glitter that looks like snow, and it would stick to the card front and look like glittery snow. So it's kind of fun to use this product as a way to attach glitter or sequins or other things. Now the shimmery one is meant, I think it's meant just to kind of be by itself too. So you could fill in the body of the snowman with this to give it a 3D effect, or you could add it to the hat and scarf on the snowman if you want that to kind of pop off the page. So it's going to be really fun for the holiday catalog. I can see why they're introducing it with that, but this is a great product year-round. You're going to see we're going to add it to the birds. Now that the card is complete, I never add this product until my card is done because this is going to have to sit for a couple hours to dry. This one sat for probably 2 hours to dry before I touched it, because it's very easy when you're working with this to get your knuckle in it or your finger when you're putting something else together. So I always save this for the end. So now that we're done making the card, and it really is a very pretty card even without this, but I feel like adding this really adds some fun dimension and some interest in a very subtle way that keeps it very clean and simple, but makes it really kind of cool. So when I use this product, it does have like a little applicator tip. So all you need to do is kind of squeeze the product so you get like a little ball of product on there. And then I use the tip itself to move it around. And what I'm doing here is covering the entire bird. I'm not squeezing anymore. I'm just using the tip to move the product around. And then when I see I need a little more, then I just kind of squeeze and add a little bit more. So I'm just filling in, using the applicator to move the product, and I'm just kind of moving it around on the bird. And now I'm going to move to the next bird. Add a blob, and then use the applicator tip to kind of push it around and fill in the outline of the bird's body. And I'm just going to keep doing this, going down the line of birds until they're all filled in. And the last one. Okay, and then what I do is I take the project and I smack it on the countertop a couple times. And what this does is it settles the product, and it helps to get any air bubbles out of the product that I might have created by moving the applicator around. I can see that this one needs a tiny bit more product, just because I can see the lines still in it. Okay, so there we go. So I'm just going to smack this a few times. And now I'm going to set this aside to dry. I'm just going to set it aside, and I'm not going to touch it for a couple hours, and just let it dry until it hardens up nice like it did on this version of the card. So now to take care of this, I'm going to take a, I have a cloth that I like to use that I can't find right now. So I'm just going to use my fingers, and I clean off the applicator tip like that. And it just sort of, the glue kind of balls up and comes off. Then what I do is I smack the container on the surface to get the glue out of the applicator tip, because you want to make sure that doesn't dry in there and clog it all up. So I hammer it down like that. Then what I do is I have a dress pin that I keep. It's just one of those little long skinny pins, and I put it in the tip here, and I kind of wiggle it around to try to clear out any extra product that might be in there, and then smack it again. And then I keep this handy, because sometimes even with all that, I end up, it dries and it's a little bit hard, and it doesn't, it kind of clogs up the end. But if you have a pin like this, then you can clear out the end, and it works beautifully. So it's worth the extra effort to try to clean this up nice and make sure that it doesn't get clogged, because this is a great little glue. So this glue is going to be about $5 in the new holiday catalog, which starts September 4th. For any of you who are not in my Facebook group, I'm having a new catalog launch party. There's going to be prizes and games. I'm going to be doing some wonderful product reviews. It's going to be really fun. So, and I'm going to be sharing some Stampin' Up! Videos too, so you can get a little bit closer look at some of these sweets in action. I think you're going to love it. So if you'd like to join us and you're not already a member, look me up on Facebook at Queen City Stamp Art. It's a closed group, but just click join and I'll let you in, and then you'll be able to participate in the holiday catalog kickoff party. Also, if you need a copy of the holiday catalog, it's a beauty. And if you'd love a copy, I'd be very happy to send you one. So just leave me a comment and we'll connect, and I'll get your address and throw one in the mail to you. Okay? Alrighty. Well, thanks so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to leave me a comment, I love the comments. Also, if you're looking for Stampin' Up! Products and supplies, you can find them at queencitystampart.com. Just go right to my website, and there's a shop tab, and it will lead you right to my online store. So thanks a lot for spending a little time with me today. I hope you had fun, and I'll see you next week.